Getting kids to bed at night can be a really hard way to end the day for parents and adults. That said, if it could be better, if it could even be an enjoyable time of the day, not only would everyone sleep better, but it also would, for busy families, create time together that could add a lot to the overall feeling of being a loving and connected family. So, I want to talk a little bit about some things that could help or could help you let yourself off the hook if your expectations maybe are a little too big for the challenges that are going to be there no matter what. It is important to keep in mind that for school age kids, bedtime involves a lot of skills that are currently under development. Everything from transitions to impulse control to emotional regulation. For a lot of kids, the complexities of self care and sequencing tasks, all of that is going on at a time of day when brains are tired, bodies are tired, and parents, as much as kids, have less patience and less ability to endure. So it's really good, first of all, to make sure that everyone gets a little bit of grace for what's involved here. That said, there are ways to maybe reduce the challenge a little bit and make it possible for everybody to join together to do this instead of struggle together. If you hear something in the ideas I share, I would suggest staying with just that one thing. Try one thing, changing one thing or adding one thing. That alone can take a lot of energy, and it's good to have something small enough that you can stay with it long enough, say maybe at least 3 or 4 weeks, to see some progress or benefit. If you want to add something else at that point, go for it. If you are maybe coming at this having tried a lot of tweaks or feeling like you're doing a lot of really good stuff, but it's just still too stressful, consider adjusting how you're doing the steps or the routine. It can be helpful, first of all, to consider if there's ways to make it more predictable. So if you feel pretty good about the bits and pieces or the steps, you might try putting them in a predictable order. So it's always in the same order. Maybe you need to make the steps a little bit more predictable or organized so that they could be the same even if parents or caregivers trade off. There's a set routine, the steps go in order, and finally, that they start at the same time every night. That can be hard, but again, all of this helps kids have a sense of predictability that their body and their brain can benefit from. If you're feeling like things are still hard and you're open to adding another step or tweaking kind of what you think bedtime should be about, here's a couple ideas to think about. And again, these should be consistent. These should be one of the steps that happen every night, not just when things have already started to go south. An optional step to add or component to add, maybe as a first step, would be a small snack. For some kids, this can be important. This might help kids who are not sleeping deeply to sleep more deeply. Maybe during periods of a growth spurt, a little bit of extra nutrition at bedtime can help them sleep more deeply. This can be a really great time to start slowing down with your child. So if you do add a snack, maybe a piece of fruit or the option of a choice between 2 or 3 healthier snacks, try to make the time to sit down and be with them, or at least be in the same room with them. This can help ease them into the next step of whatever your bedtime routine looks like after the snack. For many families, included step, if not an always included one, is some sort of hygiene or body care. This can be a bath or shower, and that can have the benefit of helping the body start to slow down and get ready for sleep. But it could also just be toothbrushing, washing face and hands, putting on pajamas. As long as, again, it's consistent, and a lot of kids need some adult accompaniment from that. And if you can sort of prepare for that, a lot of times it will go more smoothly if you can find the space to be around while it's happening, to offer some companionship, and not need to be in 3 places at once trying to get 6 things done. Two more steps that I would add, in addition to potentially a snack and hygiene or body care, is some connection and communication, and some touch or body regulation. Connection and communication can be a lot of things. A lot of families already have this. You just may not have recognized it as this. That could be reading books together. That could be talking together, singing together. Some families say prayers together. Different families do maybe more structured sharing about their day at bedtime. But again, it's connected time where attention to one another is the focus. And then finally, touch and body regulation is a nice last step in a bedtime routine. That can be snuggling together, that can be a ritual of hugs, kisses, and touches, that can be helping arrange your child's stuffies in a certain way, putting on a blanket or a weighted blanket. That can be doing a little bit of gentle touching. Some kids like a back rub. But that, again, can be a really nice last step. A final idea that can feel really hard but can make a huge difference just with some of the families that I hear back from is, if all else fails, starting bedtime earlier. This indeed can feel like robbing Peter to pay Paul. Taking 15 or 20 minutes always comes from somewhere else. But creating more time for bedtime can make the whole bedtime sort of like found quality time. Time maybe that you've been looking for earlier in the day, but hadn't realized could be part of bedtime. If you're open to it, give it a try. You might find that bedtime can be really sweet, affectionate, connected time with kids when they'll talk, and over time you may find that really important connecting is happening at bedtime just because that space is there. And finally, if you're having more complicated bedtime issues, maybe lingering bedwetting or screen fights or nightmares or sleepwalking, all of those can definitely be a part of this, but this basic routine will serve you no matter what, whether those challenges are present or not. You may need some more time to work on those, but starting with this basic building of a strong routine is a great place to start. Thanks so much for giving these ideas some thought, and I wish you a very good night. Thanks.